Why do 78% of royal headlines obsess over Harry and Meghan, even when the real palace drama is happening elsewhere? Let's take a moment to really think about that. Every morning, as the presses roll and the newsstands fill up, it's the same faces staring back at us. Harry and Meghan, front and centre. It's almost as if the rest of the royal family has faded into the background, their stories eclipsed by the endless fascination with the Sussexes. But why? Why is it that no matter what else is happening in the world of royalty, the spotlight always seems to find its way back to Harry and Meghan? Is it because they're controversial? Because they broke away from tradition? Or is it simply because the media knows that their names sell papers and drive clicks? Let's dig a little deeper into this phenomenon. Why is every Sussex move treated like a national emergency? Think about it. A simple trip to the grocery store, a new podcast episode, or even a rumoured vacation. Suddenly, it's breaking news. News anchors debate their every move, panels of experts are assembled to analyse the meaning behind a single gesture, and social media lights up with speculation. It's as if the fate of the monarchy hinges on whether Harry and Meghan attend a charity event or post a photo on Instagram. But is this level of scrutiny justified? Or is it a distraction from the real issues facing the royal family? Let's pause and consider the bigger picture. Why does Tom Sykes think he can predict the Australian weather or the mood for people who haven't even booked their flight? It's almost comical, isn't it? Here we have a royal commentator poring over weather charts and mood forecasts, trying to divine the future of a trip that hasn't even been confirmed. It's like watching someone read tea leaves and declare a hurricane is coming, all because they saw a cloud in their cup. But this isn't just about weather. It's about the relentless speculation that surrounds every Sussex move. Tom Sykes, like so many others, seems convinced that he knows what's coming next, even when the facts are thin on the ground. Why do we give so much weight to these predictions? Maybe it's because uncertainty is uncomfortable and speculation fills the void. Here's the juicy bit. Nobody, and I mean nobody, actually knows what Harry and Meghan are planning in Australia. Not even Tom Sykes, despite his best efforts at tea leaf reading. The paparazzi can camp out at the airport, the arrivals board can stay empty, and the rumour mill can churn all it wants. But the truth is, the Sussexes play their cards close to the chest. Every so-called insider report is just another guess, another attempt to fill the silence with noise. And yet, the world watches and waits, convinced that the next big headline is just around the corner. Why do we let ourselves get swept up in this cycle? Maybe it's because the unknown is more exciting than the mundane. The Sussexes have never called their trips quasi-royal tours. That's pure press invention, like thinking Meghan's every outfit is a coded message to the Queen. Let's unpack that for a moment. Every time Meghan steps out in a new dress or Harry dons a suit, the headlines explode with theories. Is this a subtle nod to royal protocol? Is Meghan sending a message with her choice of colour? The reality is often much simpler. Sometimes a dress is just a dress. But the press can't resist the urge to read between the lines, to find hidden meanings where none exist. It's a game of speculation, and the stakes are always high. But who really benefits from this endless analysis? Is it the public, hungry for answers? Or is it the media, eager for another story? Every time they travel, they make it painfully clear. It's about their Archewell Foundation, not the crown. Their focus is on charity, on making a difference, on building something new outside the shadow of the monarchy. And yet, the narrative always circles back to royalty, as if their every move is still dictated by palace protocol. But listen closely to what they say, watch what they do, and it becomes obvious. Their priorities have shifted. Archewell is their platform, their mission, their way of giving back. The crown is in the rearview mirror. So why does the media insist on framing their actions as royal drama? Maybe it's because old habits die hard. But hey, why let a little thing like reality get in the way of a dramatic headline? The truth is, drama sells. A straightforward story about charity work doesn't grab attention the way a scandal does. So the headlines get bigger, the stories get wilder, and the facts get lost in the shuffle. It's a cycle that feeds itself, with each new headline building on the last. And the public, hungry for the next twist, keeps coming back for more. But at what cost? When does the line between fact and fiction become too blurry to see? And while Tom's busy forecasting doom for Harry and Meghan, the actual working royals just got a frosty reception at Commonwealth Day. The cameras pan across the crowd, searching for smiles, but the mood is unmistakably chilly. The applause is polite, the conversations are stilted, and the sense of unease hangs in the air. It's a stark contrast to the headlines about the Sussexes, who are painted as the villains in a royal drama. But maybe the real story is happening right here, in the heart of the monarchy. Maybe the challenges facing the royal family have nothing to do with Harry and Meghan at all. Maybe it's time to shift the focus. Maybe the real royal headache isn't in Australia. It's much closer to Buckingham Palace. Just saying. As the clouds gather over the palace as journalists wait for the next big story, it's worth asking, what are we really paying attention to? Is it the spectacle, the drama, the endless speculation? Or is it the reality, the challenges, the changes happening behind closed doors? The answers might surprise you. Let's take a step back and look at the bigger picture. The media machine is relentless, churning out stories day after day, feeding the public's appetite for royal drama. But how much of what we read is actually true? How many of these headlines are based on facts, and how many are just speculation dressed up as news? It's easy to get caught up in the excitement, to believe that every rumor is a revelation. But the truth is often much more mundane. The real stories are quieter, less sensational, and often overlooked. Social media amplifies the noise, turning every minor development into a trending topic. A single tweet can spark a firestorm of debate, with fans and critics alike weighing in on every detail. The conversation moves at lightning speed, and before you know it, a new narrative has taken hold. But how much of it is grounded in reality? How much is just the echo chamber at work, repeating the same stories until they become accepted as fact? It's a question worth asking, especially as we try to separate truth from fiction. Even royal biographers, those tasked with telling the definitive story, struggle to keep up with the ever-changing narrative. Every new revelation, every leaked email, every anonymous source adds another layer to the story. But with so much noise, it's hard to know what's real and what's just rumor. The result is a tangled web of stories, each one competing for attention, each one claiming to be the truth. But the real story is often hidden beneath the surface, waiting to be discovered. This isn't the first time the royal family has found itself at the center of a media storm. Decades ago, other royals faced their own scandals, their own moments in the spotlight. The names and faces may have changed, but the cycle remains the same. The public's fascination with royalty is as old as the monarchy itself, and the media knows how to keep the story going. But what have we learned from the past? Are we any closer to understanding the real people behind the headlines? Away from the cameras, away from the headlines, Harry and Meghan continue their work. They meet with charity workers, support important causes, and try to make a difference in their own way. It's not always glamorous, and it doesn't always make the front page, but it's real. These moments, often overlooked by the press, tell a different story. One of commitment, compassion, and resilience. Maybe that's the story we should be paying attention to. Meanwhile, the rest of the royal family carries on with their duties. They attend official engagements, represent the crown at state events, and uphold centuries of tradition. It's a demanding role, one that comes with its own challenges and pressures. But even here, the headlines often miss the mark, focusing on the spectacle rather than the substance. The real work of royalty is often hidden from view, overshadowed by the latest scandal or controversy. Back in the newsroom, editors and journalists make decisions about what stories to tell and how to tell them. Every headline is a choice, every story a reflection of what the media thinks the public wants to hear. But these choices shape our understanding of the world, influencing how we see the people and events that fill our screens. It's a responsibility that shouldn't be taken lightly. Yet, in the rush to break the next big story, the line between reporting and entertainment can get blurred. Remember when Harry and Meghan's tours were celebrated, when crowds lined the streets to greet them and the media coverage was overwhelmingly positive? It wasn't that long ago. But public opinion is fickle, and the narrative can shift in an instant. What changed? Was it the couple themselves, the media, or something deeper within the institution of the monarchy? These are questions worth exploring as we try to make sense of the current climate. Time moves quickly in the world of royal news. Today's scandal is tomorrow's forgotten headline, and the cycle starts all over again. But the impact of these stories lingers, shaping perceptions and influencing decisions long after the headlines have faded. It's a reminder that the stories we tell, and the ones we choose to believe, matter. In the end, Harry and Meghan are just two people trying to find their way in a world that refuses to let them go. They've made choices, taken risks, and faced criticism at every turn. But they've also shown resilience, determination, and a willingness to forge their own path. Maybe that's what makes their story so compelling. Or maybe it's just another chapter in the never-ending saga of royal life. So, the next time you see a headline about Harry and Meghan, take a moment to ask yourself, what's really going on here? Is it a genuine story, or just another attempt to keep the drama alive? The answers aren't always clear, but one thing is certain. The real drama is often happening where we least expect it. And sometimes the most important stories are the ones that don't make the front page. Thanks for watching. Stay curious, stay skeptical, and remember, there's always more to the story than meets the eye.